Today we're going to take a brief look at the 2018 Lexus LX570. Now, typically I'd say this is a new car, which it is, but this is one of the few models out there that has been around since 2008 and facelifted 3 times. So we're really talking about something that's been around for a long time, especially when you talk about modern vehicles. So we're not going to cover everything because it's already been done over and over again. Let's just take a look at the exterior and interior real quick and take it for a drive. Now, the LX shares the same underpinnings with the Toyota Land Cruiser, and many people will say, why not just go for that? It makes more sense, it's cheaper. Well, the thing is, you get the elevated levels of Lexus quality here. In terms of frontal design, it looks huge. It's got the standard Lexus grille, but the big thing here is you get these tri-LED headlamps, which are amazingly bright. You get some of the accents that you know and you may love or hate from Lexus here, and it's just kind of a standout vehicle because you don't see a lot of these. Despite it being on the road forever, this is not something you see every day. Now, if you're a truck person, in terms of proportions, this looks really large. It looks big. It's somewhere in the middle of a Tundra and a Tacoma in terms of size. The frontal area is massive. Getting in and out, if you're below 6 foot, you're gonna have to use the running boards to get in and out of it. When I bypass the running boards, getting out, I feel like I'm gonna pull a hammy. So it's something to just remember. If you're a more smaller individual, this is going to feel very big to you. But if you're used to trucks and you're always around them, it's going to be a non-issue. So if you're looking at the LX, really, there's 2 things you probably want it for. One is towing and hauling, and that is because it's body on frame. It's not like your typical crossover junk where it's on a car platform. This is really a truck underneath. So you can tow and you can haul. It's a non-issue. The second thing is this rear liftgate. Because it hasn't been cursed by a lot of the modern vehicles, you have a completely completely manual liftgate here. You can open and close it manually, extremely fast, but the nice thing is you can also do this, and it will close on its own. And that's something that I found I really like about this, that I haven't seen on a lot of vehicles. But the other thing too is this rear tailgate drops down like the bed of a pickup truck. And I think what it does is it extends some storage out here for you. It makes it a little bit more usable. Granted, you have the carpet here, which you can remove these panels, luckily, so you don't get them dirty or scratch them up. But this is a very strange cargo space in the back. I mean, between this design, obviously, if you're sitting here like this and you're getting your nails done, you can lay your hands out or your toes out or whatever you're gonna do. There is some things that probably people are gonna use this for, but the third row seat design is really strange. And you look at this and you're like, well, why are these seats flipped out to the side like this? They are electronically raised and lowered, which is convenient, but you just wonder how long is that gonna last. It's just a kind of a compromised rear cargo space because of these seats. Inside of the 570 is where you're going to be spending most of your time. And then, of course, likely why you spent so much money on this vehicle to begin with. And it doesn't disappoint in terms of quality, fit and finish, the textures, the leather choice, the plastics, the stitching, the places that are padded for your knees, your arms. Everything is so well put together in here. And then you have wood accents. When I say wood accents, it is real wood. It's matte, kind of unfinished, unvarnished wood. In this center piece that goes across the whole dashboard is a solid piece of real wood that doesn't look like it came out of the Walmart 99-cent bin, that's all plasticized or overly lacquered. It is a nice touch, and it's to the point where you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to get some wood oil to keep this looking fresh. I mean, it's that good. Back to some of the pros. Lexus gets a lot of their electronics wrong in modern cars, but the things that they do right are the things that you need and you use every day. The attention to detail for comfort. These back seats are amazingly comfortable, including the fronts, the bolstering, the leather, the softness, the suppleness, the padding. These center seat or the second row reclines manually, and then you can electronically adjust the center and the left seat. The right has its own controls as well. And you always feel comfortable in here. The second thing they've done really well is the HVAC and the climate control. When this is set to auto in the back, which you can control on the armrest, It's off normally, so you don't, if you're just driving by yourself, you don't have to deal with the whirring of the fans back here. But it knows when you get in the seat. And as soon as you do, if you're set on auto, seat cooler, seat heater kicks on, the HVAC controls back here, it works really well. You have vents in the ceiling. It's just such a well thought out space. And that's kind of how I would describe most of the interior of the LX. If, you're getting mostly what you pay for on the interior. The glorious LX570. When you sit inside this, it is just a monstrosity. You can see everything. You can see over everyone with the exception of a big rig or a lorry, whatever you want to call it. If you are somebody that enjoys the Toyota truck family, the Tacoma, the Tundra, and you need more practicality, you need an interior space more than you need the bed of a truck, this is the first thing that you're going to look at, because it's everything that those trucks are in a more livable package, a more luxurious package. This frontal cabin is very Lexus. There's just no way around it. It feels like probably the engineers and designers of Lexus were like, well, what do you want us to do with this? And they said, well, we want to make it a Tundra, but with the Lexus cabin. And it's perfect at what it does. The leather, the wood, the center console area, everything in here is so well sorted. And you get a bunch of back seats, which is a massive gain for certain people that don't want these Nerf SUVs, that don't want these little cute utes that pretend that they're trucks, but they're not. This is a truck, this is a real SUV, and you're going to enjoy some of the aspects that come along with having a full truck frame, like the ability to really go off-road, the ability to go over curbs without worrying about bending suspension arms and all the other nonsense that goes along with the cute utes. Now, right now, I'm on bad pavement, and what you're going to notice about the LX570 is, yes, it still has that kind of truck-like ride, but it is definitely more refined. You have multiple suspension modes. This has air suspension. It can raise and lower itself based on the modes or the conditions. I have to say, you're going to drive this in comfort mode almost all the time. It just is the best balance of everything. Now, there is a Sport and a Sport Plus mode, and I don't know why. If you ever want to try it, it just really, on this beastly truck, you're not going to use it, but you can, and play around with it. But I find that it makes it too springy. It makes it too bouncy of a ride for my taste. Now I'm going to throw this in Sport Plus mode, and I can use the paddle shifters here. We're going to see how this doesn't handle in the turns. Oh, come on. Wow. If you happen to just nail that fuel cutoff just a hair, oh my God, does it cut timing? It cuts timing for like 4 seconds. So the point is, don't manually shift this. There's no point in manually shifting it. It does hold revs. I'm shocked that they put paddle shifters on here, but the operation is not that good. It doesn't rev match well. I'll show you how it downshifts. Oh, not designed for that. The handling is a bit of a surprise, I have to be straight, and a lot of it has to do with these ridiculous tires that are on here, and they do offer a lot of grip, and there's a lot of body control in Sport Plus mode, and it's going to be good for somebody that's going to drive this about 6'10". This thing has so much weight to haul around that you're not going to get any sense of acceleration. You get the V8 sound, but that's about it. This acceleration's on par with a really weak V6 or a middle to high end inline 4 or 4 popper. It just, don't expect a lot of grunt out of it. The LX570 at the end of the day is for somebody who wants a full-size truck, a full-size SUV that can tow, that can haul, that you can put everything that you need, your family, you get all of that done. That's what it is. And it's got luxury amenities that a lot of people like that want. It is very expensive for what this is. There is absolutely no doubt about it. This is for somebody that has the money, that wants to haul, that wants the comfort, and wants the reliability that Lexus trucks bring. The negative parts about it really are more than anything is the price. The price is very, very high, and of course, there's other things that are negative about it too, like the fuel efficiency. I barely drove this 2 days, and I burned through more than a half a tank of fuel. I'm lucky to get 13 to 14 miles per gallon out of this, and honestly, that is a huge penalty for driving a car like this. Even if you're hauling, if you're going on a trip, you need to be aware of that. It might be a deal breaker for some.